feng shui, and Huanyin, welcome to our last lesson for the term. We're finishing off our theme of pets, and today we're looking at birds. So today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you some flashcards of some animals. We're going to do a few sentences, and then I've got a craft for you to make as well. So let's get started. So for our flashcards, what I'd like to do is show you pictures and words of the different animals we've been looking at this term. So I'll show you a picture and read out the word to you. I'd like you to repeat it. Have a listen and repeat. Zhu, zhu, gao, gao, yu, yu, 豚鼠 豚鼠 乌龟 乌龟 兔子 兔子 This one's a new one. 蜥蜴 蜥蜴 This is our focus for today. 鸟 鸟 Another new one. 鸡 鸡 鼠 鼠 老鼠 老鼠 And finally, we looked at this guy at the start. 猫 猫 Let's do those ones again, in no particular order. 老鼠老鼠 猪 猪 yu 鱼 狗 狗 猫 猫 鸡 鸡 鼠 鼠 鸟 鸟 豚鼠 豚鼠 兔子 兔子 乌龟 乌龟 And lastly, 蜥蜴 蜥蜴 Well done. 很好. Now for our sentences, I've got 4 words I'm going to introduce to you. Some of them you already know. So here they are in Chinese. We have 是. Now this means is. This one you definitely know. San, the number 3. I'll just move these along a bit. Jiao. We've looked at this word before too. This means called. You can use this word to say what someone's name is. So if my name was Ben, I could say, 我叫 Ben. So I'm called Ben. And our last word, which we have looked at but not in great detail, is hui. Hui means can, as in I'm going to do something. So let's go through those 4 again. Now you'll notice I haven't given you the English, so you'll just have to remember. And this is a big part of learning any language. Shi is san, 3. Jiao, called. Hui, can. One more time. Shi is san, 3. Jiao, called or is called. Hui, can. Okay, now I'm going to introduce 4 sentences, but each sentence is going to be missing a word. What I want you to do is to work out which word fits into the space. So let's move these words up to the top of the screen. Yes, we can just do that. And I'm going to put down our first sentence. Here is our first sentence. I'll read you the words. And our gap is right here. 是 something. 我的鸟. Now we've been looking at this structure sentence all term. Can you remember which one of these words fits in the gap? 是 我的鸟. Here's a hint. Je is this. 我的 means my, niao, bird. That's right, we're going to need shi. 这是我的鸟. This is my bird. Here's our second sentence. It only uses 3 characters, and the missing one is here. It's one of these ones. So, let's have a look. Ta, something, wang. Here's a hint. Ta means it. Wang is a name. That's right, we need jiao. Ta jiao Wang. It is called Wang. Wang also means king or emperor, but is also a very popular name in China. Ta jiao Wang. It is called Wang. Here's our third sentence. Another 3-character sentence. Ta something. Sui. This one we know is it. Sui means years old. So now it's pretty obvious which one we need. So well done. San. So it sounds like this. Ta san sui. It is 3 years old. Ta san sui. Here's our last sentence. And there's only one word left. Let's put that in the middle. See if you can work out what this says. Wang hui fei. Do you remember what hui means? Do you think you can tell from the character what fei might mean? I'll read it again. Wang hui fei. Wang hui fei, which is Wang can fly. Well done. Wang hui fei. Now for our craft, everyone. And for our craft, we're going to be making a swan. And so it's a little bit more complicated in the folding, but it is certainly worth it. So let's begin. First thing you need is a piece of paper. I've got a coloured piece of paper, and you need a pair of scissors. You also need a texter or something to draw with as well. That's for doing the writing on our swan when we're finished. So firstly, let's turn this rectangle into a square. So we do that by folding a triangle, making sure that bottom side here touches that line there. And then I fold over again, and I fold a rectangle just here. So, I'll turn the paper over, and then I fold a rectangle just there. So that way, I've got 2 triangles which makes a square, 1 long rectangle. Use my scissors. I can cut this rectangle out. Might be able to use it as a bookmark or something like that, or write some notes on it. Something like that. Now, the next thing we need to do is turn your square on an angle like that. That line going down the middle is the first fold we need. So the next thing we need to do is to fold in these 2 sides here. That side here goes right to our centre, just there. And what we're doing is, you could say it looks a bit like an ice cream cone, or we're making it look like a kite. So both sides fold in, like so. Make sure you get all of your folds crisp and sharp. Run your finger along them if you need to. Okay, our next fold is the same as the first one. Actually, we're going to turn our paper over like that. Then we fold in again, right to the centre. Now this is where it gets tricky, because you actually have your triangles that you're making here are thinner and the points are sharper, so you have to really work on making sure that fold goes right down to your end corner here. I've done one, now I need to do the other. Fold that over. You have to work your paper a bit. Okay, so now I've got a very long, thin shape. Here you can see that properly on the camera there. Terrific. Third thing you need to do is fold this triangle, so this point here, right up to the top. so it touches the top of your shape there. Now you've made your piece of paper much smaller. Now this is going to be the neck of your swan. Then fold down this part here. This top triangle, I'm just folding it down like that. About that far. That's going to be the head of your swan. And we have nearly finished actually. Then we need to do a reverse fold. Now this is where a reverse means that you're folding it backwards. So we're folding this backwards like so, and I'm turning it on its side. So by now your swan should look like this, and we're almost there. Now this is a trickier part. For this fold I need to put a finger and thumb here, just at this point here, because this is actually where the neck leaves the body. Here's the body of your swan. This is the neck. There's that part there, and there's your head. Now I'm going to fold this head out. You have to hold one part and pull out the head like that. Pull out the neck like that. Okay, and while you're folding it out, just go over the top there. So now it should look like this. I'll do that again so you can see. I'll pull this out, squashing these corners in to make it all flat. The last thing to do is to do the same to the head. And here you have it. So you have a floating swan. When you finish, you can pull it out a little bit so you can see the feathers or the wings of your swan, and it can sit on your table like that. Like that. I'll just sit it on my hand. So it can sit on your hand. You can put it on your table. You can float around. You might be able to float it on water, but I think if it's made out of paper, it will go soggy and sink eventually. So when you finish this, this is what I would like you to do. On one side of your swan, I want you to do the character, which is meow. Now, to do meow, one line up the top, across, down, a little bit of a hook there. One line down. Imagine this is the head of your bird. It's going to look like a swan too, a little bit like a swan. There's its proud chest. Here's its wings. And so it actually looks a little bit like a swan gliding along the water. I might do the same on the other side too. This will be going in the exact same direction as my swan. So there's its head, there's its eye, its neck, front of its body, and its wings, or its wing. So there we go. And then next to it, I want you to write the word meow. So we can just write that in pinyin. So N, I, A. It has a tone that goes down and then up, falling and rising tone. Then we need an O. Oops, my O just goes over onto the next part of the wing, but that's okay. So meow. Don't forget to add an I for your meow. I'm going to put an I on the other side. And there you have it. Well done. So everyone, thank you so much for being with me this term, and thank you for tuning in each week and watching the lessons. I hope that you've really enjoyed them, and I really do hope that you have a great holiday, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all after the holidays. Have a great one. Bao zhong, sai jian. See you later.